The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. My name is Andy MacNeil. I'm your host. I'm here on weekdays to provide NHL projections, picks, betting advice, and strategies. As you can see on the screen, we've got the projections up there. Some changes from Wednesday's show. Of course, on Wednesday's show, we looked ahead to Thursday's NHL games. We got down a bet on the Edmonton Oilers, a bet on the Philadelphia Flyers, and of course, we got a winner on Wednesday with the Minnesota Wild at minus 122. They've got a 3-1 win over the Arizona Coyotes. We won 0.75 units on that one, and we're looking forward to Thursday. Like I said, a couple of bets on the board here. One more for Friday. You guys can guess what it is because I did provide my projection for the lone NHL game on Friday, which is the Carolina Hurricanes and the Arizona Coyotes. Going to get to that in a little bit, but I'm sure you've already figured it out. So let's start with some big news out of Chicago. According to Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet, reports out of Chicago indicate that the Blackhawks are checking with doctors to see if rookie Connor Bedard can suit up tonight when they host the Pittsburgh Penguins. Of course, the Penguins suffered a 5-2 loss to the Florida Panthers at home last night, and Penguins forward Jake Gensel sustained an injury in the third period of that game, so his status for this game on Thursday against Chicago is up in the air. Now, Chicago opened up at plus 190, but they have since dropped into the plus 160s at some sports books. There are still some shops out there offering the Blackhawks in the plus 180 range, but while I would have chanced it at plus 190 here with the news, I think I'd regret having the Hawks at plus 180 or lower if Bedard doesn't play, for one, and or if Gensel is good to go. I think I would regret that decision, so I'm not making any bets on this game as of right now. Another big return that we could see tonight is Victor Arvidsson. He could make his season debut for the Kings in New Jersey on Thursday. He has yet to play this season. He missed the first 50 games after having back surgery in October, but he was activated from long-term injured reserve. And the Kings getting him back into the lineup is great for this team because they need a boost on offense. Now, it's unclear what Arvidsson is going to look like right out of the gate, but if he is anywhere close to his old self, he should help this team out quite a bit. On the other side of the ice, the Devils might be missing forward Andre Palat, who is listed as a game-time decision heading into tonight's game. Goaltender Nico Das will be in the starters crease with Akira Schmid backing up. Vitek Vanacek still dealing with a lower body injury. He's not going to be available for this game, and he won't be available for the Stadium Series this weekend. Of course, the Devils are going to be in action against the Flyers. The Rangers are taking on the Islanders at MetLife Stadium, and everybody's excited about that. Justice Anna Noonan closing out the trip for the Avs in Tampa Bay. The Avalanche are going to start their backup goalie, it looks like, tonight when they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa. The Lightning have confirmed that Andrei Vasilevsky will be in goal, and the model now sees Tampa Bay as a minus 118 favorite. That's about where the market is now. So if you were able to grab the Lightning at around a pick'em price, as you know, that's where I basically thought they should be, with Georgiev expected to be in goal for the Avalanche, but now that's moved up to around minus 120, and yeah, that's where the sports books are now, so no real edge there. But if you grab that earlier number, got the Lightning at a pick'em price, almost said the Panthers there, mixing up my Florida teams, then you did all right if you got them at around minus 109 or something like that, but now, no real way to attack that one. Jonathan Quick, he's going to go head-to-head with Samuel Montembeault on Thursday, and now that both of the Rangers and Habs have announced their starting goalie, I think this makes the matchup a little bit closer, because while Igor Shesterkin, there's a big drop-off from him to Jonathan Quick. Quick has played really good this season. He's almost been on par with Montembeault. They both are right there with each other in terms of goals saved above expected. Of course, Montembeault has played more games. He is Montreal's number one guy, and there's a bigger difference, I think, between Montembeault and his backups, Allen and Primo. It's a big one, so this does help out Montreal a little bit, and there's been a change in the projection as a result. So yeah, let's talk about Friday, because Connor Ingram, he could be out up to 10 days according to the Arizona Coyotes. And that's a big loss for the team because he ranks fifth right now in goals saved above expected, according to Evolving Hockey. And his partner, Karel Vejmelka, seems to be an average goaltender at best. So that provides me with a little bit of extra incentive here. And I bet the Hurricanes at North Star Bets at minus 189. The current odds available: Carolina ranks first in both shot attempts and expected goals per 60 minutes over the last month, while the Coyotes rank 27th in both of those categories. So these teams are at opposite sides of the skill spectrum, and minus 189, the current odds at North Star Bets, far too short. So I'm going to try to win a unit here. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how anybody, can make some informed decisions using past odds. So, as you guys know, I log closing odds every single day. And if you watch Wednesday's live stream, you know that our sponsor, North Star Bets, opened up the Edmonton Oilers at minus 156 on the money line. And considering my model said Edmonton odds should be closer to minus 190, it was a good bet. We made that bet, 2 units down on the Oilers at minus 156. But you don't need a model to jump to these conclusions and make sharp bets. If you have a good idea of where the Edmonton Oilers stand compared to the rest of the league, then you can look at past odds and judge how Edmonton's money line should be priced. This strategy isn't going to work all the time in every situation, but in this particular case, we've got a lot to go on because the Blues have played some home games in the last couple of months against some of the top teams in the NHL, and the closing odds, i.e., the odds right before the puck drops and the market closes, will provide us with a lot of insight here into how a team like the Oilers should and will be priced by the market. So on December 27th, Dallas was in St. Louis taking on the Blues. They closed as a minus 179 money line favorite. Colorado was there a couple of days later on December 29th. They closed at minus 164 on the money line. Then we've got Vancouver in St. Louis, and they closed at minus 150 on January 4th. Then we've got Florida, a team that I think matches up very closely to the Oilers. They closed at minus 185 on January 9th. January 11th, the Rangers were in town. They closed at minus 161. Are the Oilers better than the Rangers? I think so. Then on January 13th, the Boston Bruins were in St. Louis taking on the Blues. They closed as minus 170 favorites on the money line. Are the Oilers better than the Boston Bruins? Yeah, I think they are. The LA Kings closed at minus 162 on January 28th in St. Louis. So that's just a 2 cent difference between minus 162, the Kings price, and minus 164, the Oilers price. Just on that information alone, you could assume that the Oilers should be priced much higher. And now we look, and Edmonton is up in that range, the minus 190 or above range. So you don't need a model to make sharp bets. There's a lot of information. I mean, the betting market in and of itself is a model. It contains all of the information that all of the sports bettors across the world that are betting into the sport of hockey know, and it's weighted by various factors like a bettor's past performance, the amount of money they're putting down, etc., their reputation with the sports books, etc. And you can glean a lot of insights from this information. So I always say that compiling odds and studying the market like this is the fastest way to become a sharper sports bettor and increase your domain knowledge. You'll really start to understand how all of this works on a daily basis. And looking at our other bet, the Philadelphia Flyers, I locked in the Flyers for a half unit at plus 135. I did mention because some of you were in the chat on Wednesday's live stream talking about how, the Flyers are opening up at other sports books at around plus 145. So I did add some. I was going to wait until this morning to, kind of officially make that official. But yeah, we've got another opportunity here to add a little bit on the Flyers. But based on how the market has been kind of reacting here, I'm not sure about this one as far as whether you should add now or wait until closer to game time if you're looking to add a bet on the Flyers, because I didn't really think that anybody was expecting not to see John Tavares, Willie Nylander, and Mitch Marner in the Leafs lineup. Of course, those players were dealing with illnesses the last couple of days. It did cause some of them to miss the game against St. Louis earlier this week on Tuesday, but I thought they were going to play here on Thursday. I never really doubted that they would be in the lineup. And My handicap hasn't changed. I think the Leafs should be a minus 127 favorite. The market clearly feels a little bit differently. And I think if we get the confirmation that all three players will be back in the lineup, you'll probably see maybe the line move even more toward the Maple Leafs. And I don't really understand why that is. We don't have as many data points looking at recent Maple Leafs home games. But looking at a recent game versus the New York Islanders, Toronto closed as a minus 147 favorite. The Isles closed at plus 132. That was the first game out of the All-Star break. But the Flyers do have a bit of an advantage here, and like I said on Wednesday's live stream, I think the fact that the Flyers actually have a better shot share than the Maple Leafs on the season, and as of late, that could come as a bit of a shock to the system for the Maple Leafs because they've been so used to dominating teams on the shot clock as of late. So just looking at that example with the Islanders closing at plus 132, I think it's a little bit egregious to list the Flyers as plus 140 favorite, which is where a lot of sports books have the Flyers at right now, anywhere from plus 130 up to plus 140. And yeah, it's Flyers or nothing for me. I'm already invested in Philly, maybe investing a little bit more later on in the day. We'll see where this one goes, but hopefully this was an enjoyable episode. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you're inspired to go log closing lines and other data points that can help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. But hey, keep coming back to the Puck Portfolio. We're here weekdays on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. Don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel if you have not already. And of course, check out our sponsor, North Star Bets, via the description in the link below. Thanks. Catch you tomorrow for a look ahead to Saturday's NHL games.